Hello, this is Neville again with our guided tour through the New Testament. We're looking at Matthew chapter 4, verses 12 through 25 today. We're looking at Jesus calling his 12 disciples. Our outline, Jesus and the desperate. He just looked at Jesus and the devil and the temptation. Now Jesus and the desperate, and Jesus and his disciples. With the desperate, we see the spiritually darkened and the physically disabled. We also see Jesus and the disciples with Peter and Andrew, James and John. And there's quite a lot to pay attention to as we look at this. The map of where he's doing his work you can see it outlined where he starts and how he carries on. We'll keep referring back to this. And our text then. Now when he heard that John had been arrested, he withdrew into Galilee. And leaving Nazareth, he went and lived in Capernaum by the sea, in the territory of Zebulun and Naphtali, so that what was spoken of by the prophet Isaiah might be fulfilled. The land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, the way of the sea beyond the Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. The people dwelling in darkness have seen a great light, and for those dwelling in the region and the shadow of death, on them a light has dawned. Verse 17. From that time Jesus began to preach, saying, Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And then we see Jesus calling his first disciples from verse 18. While walking by the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And he said to them, Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. Immediately they left their nets and followed him. And going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother, in the boat with Zebedee their father, mending their nets. And he called them. Immediately they left their boat and their father, and followed him. And then we see how Jesus ministers in front of these leaders, teaching them to be future leaders. As he ministers to the great crowd. And he went throughout all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every disease and every affliction among the people. So his fame spread throughout all Syria, and they brought him all the sick, those afflicted with various diseases and pains, those oppressed by demons, epileptics, and the paralytics, and he healed them. And great crowds followed him from Galilee and the Decapolis, that's the 10 cities, and from Jerusalem and Judea, and from beyond the Jordan. There's a lot to focus on here. One of the most interesting facts is the way Jesus passes the leadership challenge that is set before him. First of all, by passing the temptations, and now by starting to preach, and then selecting his future leaders. When we look at Jesus selecting his leaders, we can learn quite a lot about him. First of all, we see that he found these leaders in the course of his everyday world. Verse 18 says he was just walking by the Sea of Galilee when he spotted these men close to him. Also, we see that he handpicked them. This was not a popularity competition, but he saw those that he knew, and he knew that they would be right. We also see that he called them to become future leaders, to influence others to be leaders. We see that he used language that they understood. He challenged them plainly to catch men instead of fish, an analogy that they were used to. And then verses 23 through 25, he took them on a journey and demonstrated that leadership ability to them. What this reminds me of is the story that he wants us to tell. Proverbs 11 verse 30 says, The fruit of righteousness is a tree of life, and he who wins souls is wise. As Catherine Hankey wrote once, I love to tell the story. And the question we have to ask ourselves today is, like Jesus, are we willing to tell the story? I love to tell the story of unseen things above, of Jesus and his glory, of Jesus and his love. I love to tell the story because I know it's true. It satisfies my longings as nothing else can do. And then the refrain, I love to tell the story. 'Twill be my theme in glory, to tell the old, old story of Jesus and his love. God bless you as you go into this day willing and ready to tell the story of Jesus.